welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, July 13, 2018. I'm Yvesta Boynes with the details. The people must be at the center of any community resilience building program. So said Bernard Morgan, president of the SVG Red Cross, as his organization hosted a one-day regional symposium at the National Insurance Services Conference Room today. The symposium was held under the theme, Community Resilience to Mitigate Impacts of Climate Change in the Caribbean, and was part of celebrations marking the 70th anniversary of the SVG Red Cross. Morgan said the local Red Cross has been engaged in activities with selected communities to identify natural and major hazards, extreme vulnerabilities, and to assist in the creation of action plans.
The Red Cross has been involved with 20 communities in this exercise. Given the value of the work that has been done and the number of communities without coverage, and of course, the magnitude of the threat, the Government of Canada has given approval for a 3-year project on building community resilience in an additional 6 communities. The project will be executed by the Canadian Red Cross in collaboration with the International Federation Office in Trinidad and NEMO. Suriname and Belize will also participate in this project. However, we must remind ourselves that building resilience is an ongoing developmental process which requires the involvement of everyone.
Meanwhile, Josephine Shields-Ricas, head of the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Society's Country Cluster Support, said the Federation's overall strategy is centered on assisting Red Cross organizations to help their communities avoid and recover from various hazards. Shields-Ricas added that the community resilience program underway here is expected to be carried out in other countries.
We have other projects as well, including, like I mentioned, a partner, the Nature Conservancy. That's another activity looking at how we look impact on climate change adaptation to building resilience. So that's actually going on right now, including in Grenada, in Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic. And so overall, everywhere we go, we have also another strengthening capacity project funded by OFDA, which includes Barbados Red Cross, the Bahamas Red Cross, and also Belize Red Cross. So across the region, the International Federation tries to support our partners through technical capacity as well as some financial support to be able to continue the needed work in country and to continue to deliver on their promise by virtue of their Red Cross acts and statutes to be auxiliaries to the government in relation to building a nation, building stronger Caribbean societies of which the Red Cross is a part.
Minister of National Mobilization Frederick Stevenson said it is important to ensure that communities are self-sufficient as they are always the first to be impacted, the first to respond to a disaster, and the last to be contacted. Stevenson added that government is working with local and regional organizations to ensure that proper structures are in place to assist communities and to invest in the human resource.
To ensure that our communities have the necessary tools to manage and respond more effectively to emergencies, my government has already built and furnished 2 of the 6 satellite warehouses in our more vulnerable communities. 4. My government has continued to invest in human capacity building. To this end, we have trained 3 forecasters who presently work at the meteorological services at the Argyle International Airport. A 4th forecaster is presently in training and will join the other 3 for the 2019 hurricane season. It must be noted at the moment that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not a forecasting station. Our forecasters continue to work with regional organizations such as the Barbados Meteorological Office.
Persons who are tasked with the management of emergency operation centers in SVG will join their counterparts from 4 other OECS states for a 5-day training course next week. The course is geared towards exposing participants to the discipline of emergency operation center management and the standard operating procedures which govern them. The training course, which runs from Monday, July 16th to Friday, July 20th at the Paradise Beach Hotel at Villa, will be hosted by the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, in collaboration with the United States Agency for International Development or Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance. Participants will be drawn from Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts Nevis, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These persons are drawn from the National Disaster Response Mechanism, government agencies, and stakeholders involved in planning and responding to emergencies and disasters. A release from NEMO said the capacity of agencies and personnel expected to operate in the EOC will also be enhanced, as they will be better able to perform their specific duties and responsibilities during an emergency operation. Emergency Operations Center Management provides a centralized coordination and control of an emergency or disaster response, recovery, or relief operations when an event has occurred that requires national, regional, or international coordination of resources. This country's youths have been challenged to combine academic knowledge with modern technology to take SVG forward. Issuing this challenge was Oti Meyers, the founder of Finishing and Furnishing, as he spoke at the opening of the STEM program today. The program has been held for the past 6 years and gives the youth a theoretical and hands-on experience with information technology during the summer break. Myers said technology made the world a smaller place as it connects SVG to places that are geographically distant, and added that academics and technology will give the youth the edge to take their place in the world.
So if you want to swallow up all the subjects in the world, pay attention. And any field at all you want to aspire in, you need a little bit of academic. I don't have it, so I miss it. I'm a carpenter, a furniture maker, and the technology that is available to the industry that I love, I can't handle it. So what I beg the children to do is to acquire as much, because you will need it in any field you choose to be in.
Director of the STEM program, Petrus Gums, said while many countries have similar programs, that the one conducted in SVG is unique.
We are in St. Vincent, so we have to bring a customized program to the students here, so some of our culture are in it. Most of the time we have programs overseas, and those of you who are familiar with Microsoft Word, we copy and paste, and most of the time it don't work. So with STEM, we put in a little bit in between that. We copy, modify, and then we paste it, so that we get our children to embrace whatever little our culture as well have to present with us. Parents, with your cooperation, the cooperation of our sponsors who are quietly sitting here with us, and the teachers of the program, we are hoping to have another successful STEM SVG 2018. Thank you.
Members of the public are being given the opportunity to break the invisible barriers which hinder their progress, as the Faith Temple Church hosts a conference under the theme Breaking Barriers. Pastor Peter Bonady said the 3-day conference, which opened this evening, will use divine inspiration to help persons achieve success. Dr. Bonady said these barriers are responsible for a range of challenges which people face, and the source is in the spiritual realm.
That taught us something, that there is a condition in the Bible which the scriptures call a curse. Though not a nice word that describes people's condition, yet it's a very real condition. Upon studying the Word of God, I came to realize that a curse is an invisible barrier to the fortunes of life. And not just to make it spooky, where people think you're talking about voodoo, witchcraft, necromancy, obi, and all that crazy stuff, but rather to take a very natural perspective of life and to realize that people have barriers. They're invisible barriers, like there's no progress, you don't know why. A marriage is in turmoil, you don't know why. Your kids are underperforming at school, you don't know why. Invisible stuff. And I came to realize that God has vested in the church authority over demons, devils, and authority over the material world. The truth is, God has made us masters of the material world and masters over demons and devils and circumstances.
Pastor Bernardi, as a lay minister, said he has been successful in the use of divine inspiration to break barriers, and for these 3 days he will be assisted by a team of prophets.
So at this conference, beginning tonight, Friday night, 7 o'clock at Faith Temple, New Montrose, we begin. And then we're going to be there Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, Sunday morning at the church base. And Sunday night, we're going to have a glorious ending. We're going to have uncommon worship. And then we'll be teaching the Word of God at the level of your comprehension in a way that will inspire your faith and build you up so that you can move your life to the next level of productivity. And then we're going to have impartational sessions. With me is a team of prophets, and these guys are lethal. They're very accurate, and we're going to be activating the prophetic. And I'm really not into spooky stuff, but applying biblical principles and laws which, when applied, give us predictable results.
Pastor Bernardi added that while the conference is open to the public, it is targeted specifically at those who wish to progress and succeed.
If you don't want to break the barrier, then this conference is not for you. But if you have an insatiable passion for success, if you have an insatiable passion to make something out of your life, if you are sick and tired about being sick and tired, this conference is designed with you in mind. So everybody, black, white, Jews, Gentiles, Protestant, Catholics, bring your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your in-law, your outlaw, just leave your pit bull at home, all right? but come to the conference, seriously. If you are in pursuit of a career, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're a parent, you are in love with somebody, and you just have lots of disagreements, perpetual arguments, and you just don't know what in the world is affecting your relationship, please get to this conference, and I believe that God is going to make a difference in your life.
Local police are investigating a series of burglaries which they say occurred at Richmond Hill between 3 a.m. Friday, July 6 and 3:30 a.m. Saturday, July 7. The police said they received reports that a group of men armed with guns stole a quantity of items valued at $1,750 from Chanel Estee, an 18-year-old student of Diamond, Celine Ambrose, a 19-year-old student of Brighton, Kiana Cambridge, a 17-year-old student also of Brighton, Daniel Gilbert, a 23-year-old clerk of Mesopotamia, Lesroy Batiste, 26 years, a bartender of Ruttermill, and Alrain Johnson, a 43-year-old joiner of Mackey's Hill. The police said they are also investigating a series of robberies which occurred at North River Road, Kingston between 8:30 p.m. and 11:45 p.m. on Tuesday, July 10th. 3 unknown armed men are said to have robbed Jason Burnett, a 43-year-old operator of Trinidad and Tobago, and Stephen Sam, a 26-year-old laborer of Old Montrose, of goods and cash. The police are asking the public to come forward with any information they may have about these incidents. Police are investigating the death of a 54-year-old man of Glenside, Mariquah, whose body was discovered just after 5 p.m. on Thursday in the Yambu River. The police said the cause of death is not yet known and that a post-mortem examination will be conducted to ascertain the cause of death. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police is giving young persons wanting to engage in activities connected to the natural environment the opportunity to do so through its annual summer program, which was launched yesterday. Corporal Lorraine John, the coordinator of the police youth clubs, said during the 10 days of the program starting July 22nd, participants will learn the value of hard work, discipline, and independence. He highlighted the activities in which the participants will engage.
We have hiking, we have sporting events with the community service, we have drama, and a host of other activities. We do have lectures, but this year we are trying to limit the amount of classroom work because, as Sergeant Miller said, they're just out of a classroom setting. And our camp will be held in Buchanan Bay Secondary School from the 22nd to the 30th. And in that area, there's a lot of natural sightseeing tour areas that we are trying to expose our youth to for this year.
The RSVG Coast Guard will also conduct its annual summer program from July 16 to 21st in 3 phases at the Coast Guard base. Petty Officer Damian Franklin explained what participants can expect.
The objective of the program is to expose participants to safety at sea, first aid, swimming and life-saving techniques. They'll also be exposed to leadership and personal development skills, and we will also provide the participants with information of the Coast Guard on a possible career choice. Some of the areas that we covered in the program, the subject areas, will be the personal development, the history of the Coast Guard, navigation, seamanship and safety at sea, substance abuse, conservation, boat handling, leadership, and other subject areas.
Meanwhile, Constable Gareth Dopwell, a member of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, said his unit will be targeting the various entities which conduct youth summer programs in order to sensitize participants about issues surrounding human trafficking.
Also, there is a great number of young adults currently seeking employment, having completed their secondary and tertiary education. These individuals, based on their background, would try very hard to gain employment and sometimes are seen as very vulnerable to the traffickers. And what they would do is that they would put certain incentives, certain things that they would like to see in terms of a job, so that they would try to get that job. But not all job offers that they are in the newspaper that are there, they are legitimate.